morning to submit his statement is nowhere to be found. Alpha Ramshwana, Eyewitness News for Sloras.
At the same time, police say if it turns out that Mogotsi staged his attempted assassination, he will face a charge of defeating the ends of justice. Mogotsi's name has been mentioned at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry and Parliament's ad hoc committee investigating alleged police corruption. Witnesses have been pointing to his alleged influence over senior police officers. Mate says they are still trying to get hold of Mogotsi following the alleged attack.
We are still waiting for Mr. Brown Mogotsi. It's not yet clear where he was coming from and where he was going. So those are some of the details that we would like to, collect and gather from him so that we are able then to take down a formal statement.
To this now embattled crime intelligence boss Dumsani Khumalo has told the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry that the traditional way of investigating is not suitable for probing organized crime. Khumalo says this is why it was necessary to shift to analysis-driven investigations when looking into the murder of engineer Armand Swart. Khumalo is back before the inquiry today. More than a month after he fell ill, Swart was shot dead while seated in his vehicle outside his workplace in 2024, it was reported that the assassination was orchestrated to silence him after he blew the whistle about fraud and corruption linked to a Transnet tender. Khumalo says the investigation into Swart's murder needed a high-level police team.
So for that, we needed an expert in the firearm area, from the importation to registration to managing or controlling those firearms. And we also had to request an investigating officer.
The man convicted of the murder of Stellenbosch University student Jesse Mitchell has been sentenced to life behind bars. 20-year-old Rudolf Hufke was found guilty after he entered into a plea and sentencing agreement with the state. He confessed to Mitchell's murder and robbery with aggravating circumstances on the 16th of October last year, and the robbery with aggravating circumstances of another victim, Siko Matimba, also in Stellenbosch the previous day. Lauren Isaacs has more.
19-year-old Stellenbosch University student Jesse Mitchell was robbed and stabbed in the neck while riding his bicycle in Borchard Street, Stellenbosch, on his birthday in October last year. The court heard the offences were committed with malice and forethought, and the accused preyed on victims he regarded as weak, vulnerable and blindsided. In a victim impact statement, the deceased's grandmother, Christina Mitchell, wrote that the day tragedy struck continues to haunt her. Lauren Isaacs, Eyewitness News.
And search operations are underway on a Himalayan peak in northeastern Nepal following the deaths of 7 climbers. It's understood the 7 were part of a group that set out over an hour before an avalanche hit the peak yesterday. Last week, Cyclone Monta triggered heavy rain and snowfall across Nepal, leaving people stranded in the Himalayas. Autumn is a popular season for trekkers and climbers in Nepal as weather conditions and visibility are better, but the risk of severe weather and avalanches remains. Gold is trading at $3,992.99 an ounce. The rand is at 17.45 to the dollar, 22.81 to the pound, 20.09 to the euro, and Brent crude oil is at $64.89 a barrel.
At this hour, leaving the Joburg CBD, you can expect about a 20-minute delay. That's in the Selby area. M2 westbound between the Crown Interchange and Main Reef Road in Devland, heading towards Eldos. We have those roadworks causing some delays on the Golden Highway between the N1 and Union Avenue, and in the Mother City, accident scene on Sable Service Road. That's approaching the N7, causing major delays.
It's a partly cloudy afternoon in Gauteng today with showers and thundershowers expected. Temperatures have peaked at highs of between 20 and 22 degrees, while Cape Town is fine with a fresh southerly wind at a high of 25. The top story in EWN this hour: ballistic experts have arrived at the Vosloorus police station to analyze firearm evidence related to an alleged attempted hit on Northwest businessman Brown Mogotsi.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app. with Mandy Wiener on 702.
Let's walk the talk. Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7
and 106 FM.
The Midday Report with Mandy Wiener on 702 and Cape Talk is brought to you by Nedbank Commercial Banking. Think bigger, think Nedbank Commercial Banking. On the show today, court rules Operation Dudulla conduct at clinics and hospitals unlawful and xenophobic. Police set up a team to investigate the alleged hit on businessman Makottzi. The crime intelligence boss is on the stand at the Madlanga Commission, the deputy police ministers at the ad hoc committee, and a security specialist arrested testing security at Nasrec ahead of the G20. All of that over the next hour.
The Midday Report with Mandy Wiener.
Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app. DSTV channel 856,
92.7
and 106 FM.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Report on 702 and Cape Talk with me, Mandy Wiener. What a country we live in. That entire introduction just read like the plot of a movie, right? I mean, you cannot make this stuff up. So this alleged hit, and we're calling it an alleged hit because Makottzi, the businessman from the Northwest who's at the center of the entire police capture investigation, is missing. No one knows where he is. The police are looking for him. But there was this incident that occurred last night in Vosloorus. A red Chevy sedan he was traveling in allegedly came under a hail of bullets by men driving a white bakkie along the N3 highway. So either one of two things has happened. Either the dominoes have begun to fall from the Madlanga inquiry, and there was an attempt to silence Makottzi. Or, and I'm not being cynical, I'm speaking from memory and institutional memory and experience here. Let me remind you of two incidents that occurred. The one was in Bedfordview involving the Czech businessman, Radovan Krejčí. Do you remember when that polo with the number plate that lifted up, that was remote operated, and then the barrels of a gun came out from in the number plate, and several shots were fired at Radovan Krejčí? That was an attempted hit on him. So there was that incident, which was an alleged assassination attempt, but it was from this James Bond-esque number plate that had barrels hidden behind it. And then do you remember the Kenny Kunene story? I think in 2017 with Steve Motale, that there was an alleged hit on Kenny Kunene. So this could be a staged assassination attempt in order to create the impression that Makottzi is a targeted individual. We just don't know at this stage, and I think that's why there's so much cynicism. It's all cloak and daggers kind of stuff. So the police will give us shed some light on that. But really, South Africa can be an absolute movie. We'll speak to Alpha Ramashwana in a little bit. He is in Vosloorus, where the police are investigating that matter. But that court ruling coming in today, that Operation Dudulla's conduct at hospitals and clinics, they've been preventing foreign nationals from using these facilities. The court has declared it unlawful and xenophobic. Judge Lester Adams handing down that ruling in the Gauteng High Court in Joburg today. That judgment also, according to a News 24 report, interdicts police and other authorities from searching for or demanding or arresting people without a warrant in their private homes. In public, police can only ask to see documents regarding nationality if there is sufficient and reasonable suspicion. So this judgment means that Operation Dudulla cannot prevent people from entering hospitals or schools. This conduct is unlawful. We are trying to speak to Operation Dudulla to get their reaction, but a bit earlier on, the Health Minister, Aaron Motsoaledi, was on air when the story broke with my colleague, Clement Manyetela on 702. Take a listen to his reaction.
This was to be expected. I personally told them that. Remember, I did meet Operation Dudulla, and I came public about what we discussed. And I told them that whatever concerns they have, some of which might be legitimate, by the way, but I said they are going about using a wrong method to achieve their goals. I even told them, because they said to me, they can accept or understand that doctors and nurses have taken an oath. They can't turn anybody away. But they were asking me to instruct the clerks who are issuing the files that anybody who doesn't have any papers or any identity or documentation cannot get a file in the hospital. They must send such people away. I told them that I happen to have been in Home Affairs. I know that 11% of the South Africa's population do not have any documents. I'm talking here of South Africans, not illegal immigrants. Because on the continent of Africa, we've got this problem of civil registration and vital statistics. And we know, we do have figures, that number one on registration on the continent is Egypt. They are 98% registered, which means there are 2% Egyptians who don't have any document. Number two is South Africa, which is 89% documented, which means 11% of South Africans don't have documents. So it means they too will be turned away from health service. So I told them that method cannot work, and there are many reasons why it can't work. So I'm sure the court is just legally or officially, or in terms of their power, finalizing exactly what we've been knowing.
Health Minister Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi reacting there to that High Court judgment on Operation Dudulla. We will try and get reaction from Operation Dudulla too, but the court finding that Operation Dudulla's actions outside hospitals and clinics are unlawful.
The Midday Report with Mandy Wiener on 702 and Cape Talk is brought to you by Nedbank Commercial Banking. See money differently.
Now to the story I was speaking about. Police say that a team is being put together to investigate an attempted hit on the controversial Northwest businessman, Brown Makottzi. That incident taking place on last night, allegedly coming under a hail of bullets by men driving a white bakkie along the N3 highway. Makottzi was driving a red Chevrolet sedan. Lots of questions around this. Alpha Ramashwana is on the scene of that shooting and joins us now. Alpha, good afternoon to you. Thanks for your time. Tell us what we know about this incident.
Good afternoon, Mandy. I mean, the details are still quite sketchy. The police themselves are not sure if they should believe what Brown Mogotsi had to say to them. But what he said to the police last night was that he was driving on the N3 along Vosloorus in a red Chevrolet sedan, and men in a white bakkie just started attacking him. And then he phoned the police. The police did arrive on the scene. They collected about 11 cartridges, and they asked Brown Mogotsi to come to the police station at that time to come and write a statement about what has transpired during his shooting. And what was shocking to police, and certainly to myself, Mandy, is that he refused to go to the police station to write down a police statement, and instead told the police that he would return today at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's now 12 o'clock and Brown Mogotsi is nowhere to be found. He was supposed to be here at 8 o'clock in the morning to submit his statement, but he's still not here. And police say because he hasn't written down a statement, the details are still sketchy. They are not sure what actually transpired. But I'm currently at the Vosloorus police station, Mandy, and this is where the red Chevrolet sedan is. Right now, police ballistic experts are on scene. I can count 5 of them so far surrounding the Chevrolet sedan that was supposedly being driven by Brown Mogotsi in what he alleges was an attempted hit. Right now, the ballistic experts are putting black powder, which is used to find fingerprints on the vehicle. They're also putting tape on some of the fingerprints that they have found on the vehicle. So really the car is currently with the ballistic sections of the South African Police Service trying to find the fingerprints, the bullets, cartridges, trying to determine what exactly happened and which firearms were used here. We spoke to the spokesperson of the police, Aslenda Mate, earlier on, really telling us the little details that they know about what transpired last night. Let's take a listen to what she had to say, Mandy.
So we are still waiting for him. He had promised that he would make himself available at around 8 o'clock. And up until now, it's now 10:30. He is a no-show at the Vosloorus police station. We have registered a case of attempted murder. And we have our forensic experts that were on the scene last night. We also have our ballistics experts that have arrived. They're still investigating as to what exactly transpired. They have collected all physical evidence and material that will assist us to solve this particular case. But as of now, we are still waiting for the victim, Mr. Brown Makottzi, to present himself at the Vosloorus police station so that we are able to take down his statement.
So Brown Makottzi, a no-show. As you say, he spoke to the police last night. He gave them a version then of what happened?
Look, Mandy, he's supposed to come to the police station to write down his statement. He was asked last night to register a case for his alleged attempted murder, and police say he refused, weirdly enough, to open that case, and the police had to open the attempted murder case themselves. So Brown Makottzi didn't want to open the case and really wasn't keen on telling them anything about what transpired. In fact, police say that Brown Makottzi said he didn't want to talk because of the media, claiming that the media has been lying about him. The media hasn't been honest about what has been happening around him as far as the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry is concerned and his alleged influence in the criminal infiltration of the South African Police Service. So he refused to give details, according to police, because he is afraid that the media is going to twist his words. That is what we were told this morning. So at the moment, Mandy, I'm looking at that vehicle. I can count about 6 bullets on the driver's side of the vehicle, and police are still continuing with their investigations. Let's take a listen to what the police spokesperson had to say about the little details that Makottzi gave.
For now, we are told, it's not yet clear, but we are told he was alone, or he might have been with another individual. So those are some of the facts that we need to verify. Was Mr. Brown Makottzi alone? Was he traveling with another individual? Who is that particular individual? Because we would have to get the statement, witness statement from that individual and so on. So we are hoping that he will present himself at the police station so that we are able then to conduct a thorough investigation to get to the bottom of what has happened.
Alfred Amashwana, thank you very much in Vosloorus for us on the Twitter. Colin says, SA's hitmen are good. If they want to get you, they get you, especially when multiple shots are involved. This botched hit sounds like the assassination attempt on our Honourable Vice President, fiction designed to gain sympathy. Either way, it's good Mr. Makottzi is safe. And then Levy says, a hit in a Chev Avio, a whole Brown Makottzi, something doesn't add up. Real growth needs more than just banking, and Nedbank Commercial Banking is your growth partner. Their team of industry experts understand your business and its potential, offering insight to help you see opportunity where others see obstacles. Because when you can see what others don't, you can do what others can't. Think bigger. Think Nedbank Commercial Banking. See money differently. Nedbank is a licensed FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
You thought that your guilty pleasure of streaming The Real Housewives of Dudulla was just a you thing. Until your boss said, hey, did anyone watch last night's reunion? Now look at you, small talking your way to a corner office. Connected at home, finding your tribe everywhere. Get the best Wi-Fi experience with fast and reliable fiber from OpenServe. Ask your ISP today. T's and C's apply.
James, congrats on the babies.
Yeah, thanks. It's a wild ride.
You're a new dad, 2 babies, 0 sleep, and 1 car that apparently couldn't cope.
Yeah, the hatchback was my baby, but it just didn't have enough space for my 2 new babies.
And are you happy with the price when you sold to We Buy Cars?
Very. We've even got some extra cash to splurge on one of those fancy prams that you basically need a license for.
Good luck, James. We Buy Cars. Geared for family, geared for you.
The Outsurance pointsmen know that every car on the road carries a story. There's a car full of groceries and a lady who will be attempting to make her mother-in-law's famous recipe for the family dinner tonight.
5 mils of sugar.
The Outsurance pointsmen know it's not just a car in traffic, it's butterflies and a potential bonding moment. Every story is different and every story matters. That's why the Outsurance pointsmen have been doing what they do since 2005 in proud partnership with 702. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
And now, it's back to Mandy Wiener on the Midday Report.
This is 702.
Let's walk the talk.
12:22 on the Midday Report with me, Mandy Wiener. Well, let's go to the Madlanga inquiry now because the head of crime intelligence is currently giving evidence there. He's back again after falling ill last month. Oren Singh, EWN reporter, has been watching that for us and joins us in studio. Oren, before we get to that, you've also been taking a look at this Brown Makottzi alleged hit. What is your take on it?
Very strange, Mandy. A lot of questions, more questions than answered. Answers at this stage, from what we understand, this vehicle and the license registration number on this vehicle is registered to a motor vehicle company that sells vehicles in Gauteng, in Johannesburg. And I've managed to speak to the owners of that company to say that they recently sold the vehicle secondhand, and we're just waiting on ownership details, if possible, on who may have bought it, but it's unlikely that it was bought by Opa Brown Mogotsi. That's what the owner of this dealership tells me. The name Brown Mogotsi doesn't ring a bell. So interesting that it was recently purchased and then involved in this alleged shooting, but we'll just wait to see what comes out of it from police investigations.
Okay, let's go to the Madlanga inquiry now. The head of crime intelligence, Dumisani Khumalo, on the stand. What's he been talking about?
Basically talking a little bit more about those two police operations that happened on December 6th, in that of Katiso Katie Molefe as well as Vusi Musikat Matlala, claiming that there were secret operations. They didn't want to get a lot of people involved, as they had at the time information at their disposal that members of the Hawks were assisting the Big Five cartel. But I think something of concern that happened a bit earlier, Mandy, regarding the commission was they had to take a short adjournment. And that was after some details of secret witnesses were broadcast and revealing the identities of secret witnesses. Always going to happen.
But it really shouldn't have.
It really shouldn't have. Given the fact that we heard these witnesses partially in camera, we heard that they were testifying from some safe houses from an undisclosed location, and their names were briefly identified. At the time, I don't know how many thousands of people were watching it, but yeah, and I think the commission is trying to find a way to manage that situation at the moment.
Oren, thank you very much. Oren Singh, EWN reporter in studio for us. Let's take a quick listen in there to the Madlanga inquiry to find out what's happening.
Their information was Mr. Matlala was involved in the kidnapping, and Mr. Matlala is very close to the Deputy National Commissioner. So it is during that meeting that the instruction, in some cases, if not all cases, in the SAPS we work with instructions, not requests, that the team GCI Ops must take over this investigation. So during the collection of intelligence as well as information, which also included a lot of digital forensic analysis in terms of video footages, that included a lot of call data analysis, because we had those experts that were there to assist in the Vereeniging case. Now that this case has been made part of this, they were also assisting. So the operation then was termed the search and questioning, because there was evidence.
So that is the head of crime intelligence, Dumisani Khumalo, testifying at the Madlanga inquiry. As you heard earlier from Oren, there was a bit of a faux pas earlier, which has massive implications. The fact that they erroneously identified witness A and witness B. And this raises a question, along with this alleged hit on Brown Makottzi last night, about witness protection when it comes to the Madlanga Commission and the erosion of witness trust, which really does reveal a deeper crisis in our criminal justice system. Somebody who's been outspoken about this is Professor Andre Divenhager, a political analyst from Northwest University, who joins us now. Prof, good afternoon to you. Thanks very much for your time. So this issue that's happened now at the Madlanga Commission, where it seems that they've erroneously identified witness A and witness B, I mean, that really speaks to what your concerns are.
Absolutely. There's no doubt, Mandy, that this is very, very serious. I am not sure what precisely happened yesterday or the day before with Brown Mogotsi, if it was a stage thing or it was the real McCoy, but the fact of the matter is there are dangerous forces at work that are able to stop witnesses. And this is a typical pattern where the criminal justice system is falling apart. We have many examples in this regard in Latin America, and South Africa is becoming a classical case in this regard. And the outcome of this is very easy, that people will be afraid in order to testify. And we must always take into consideration both the ad hoc commission and the Madlanga Commission. They are gathering information. These information still must go to court. It needs to be verified through legal and other processes. So these witnesses may come in play yet again. And I think South Africa is one of the most dangerous places on earth for any whistleblower. And I believe that witness A and witness B is in serious trouble at the moment.
The situation with Brown Makottzi could very well be somebody trying to silence him, because there is an expectation he could give evidence. We're hearing, yesterday we heard a report that Kat Matlala could potentially turn state witness. So this could be somebody trying to clean a house before people take the stand.
There's no doubt that this can go anyway. And as I mentioned earlier at one point in time, that South Africa is becoming more and more a classical example of what we refer to as a mafia state. And the key characteristic there is the link between politicians and criminal world, and then the people that are establishing these connections. These are the Kat Maklalas, the Brown Mogotzis, and so on. And they are linking on influential politicians with heavy power bases, access to power, access to money, making them extremely dangerous. And they can really activate these elements. And if you look at the works of R.W. Johnson, he's arguing, and that's part of the bigger concept of a failed state, which is part of this mafia state, where you have strong men developing their own, let's say, military capabilities, and they can use it for whatever purpose they want to. And this is becoming a feudal type of structure. You have the kingpin on top, but you have, as on the second level, another leader. He has his own capacity to act. And now we have a situation where these structures are being activated in some ways, and that must be concerning.
And Prof, of course, we rely on the police to protect the witnesses, but the police itself is the subject of the commission.
Well, absolutely. And that is a contradiction in terminus, that you have these Madlanga Commission basically reporting to President Ramaphosa, who was in some ways also implicated, maybe through Zenzo Mchunu, CF17, there were a number of connections, but he's going to receive the report. And then we have people implicated that is also part of the ad hoc committee, because there are huge party influences there in some way. And this is testing the independence of both of these investigations. And this must be a real concern to people because there's a lot of time, money going into it. Are we going to see the action? Are we going to see the implementation? That's the main question.
Prof, thank you so much. Professor Andre Dudulla, a political analyst, speaking to us there about witness protection. 12:31, time for Eyewitness News headlines.
Thanks, Mandy. Good afternoon. Controversial businessman Brown Mogotsi has refused to open a police case after allegedly being shot at in what he claims was an attempted assassination. Mogotsi has told police that the incident involved unknown assailants in a white bakkie in Vosloorus in Ekurhuleni last night. A red Chevrolet sedan, which Mogotsi is said to have been driving in, has been taken to the Vosloorus police station and is currently being examined by ballistic experts. The Gauteng High Court has ruled that the conduct of Operation Dudulla of blocking foreign nationals from accessing clinics and schools is unlawful. In a judgment handed down today, the court has interdicted the group from performing the various actions. The case was filed by the Kopanong Africa Against Xenophobia group, represented by the Socio-Economic Rights Institute. The group wanted the court to prohibit Operation Dudulla's actions, which they argued violated constitutional rights and the rule of law. And embattled crime intelligence boss Dumisani Khumalo claims that the takedown operation at the home of Sandton businessman Katiso Katie Molefe was deliberately not shared with the Hawks. Khumalo has told the Madlanga Commission in Pretoria today that the investigation revealed that the member of the Hawks, only identified as Zungu, was allegedly working with the Big Five cartel. Those are the headlines. This EWN and more at 1 or as it happens.
EWN Sport.
Good afternoon, I'm Tolagele Mganga. We start with some live cricket where South Africa are batting in their first ODI against Pakistan, and the latest from their innings sees them on 36 without any loss after 7 overs. At the crease is Quinton de Kock on 7 alongside Luandre Pretorius on 29. In team news, Devalt Brevis has been ruled out of the 3-match series due to a low-grade shoulder muscle strain. He'll undergo rehab in preparation for the upcoming Test tour of India, while his replacement will be announced in due course. Switching over to football, where there are 4 games scheduled in the Bedway Premiership this evening, including Kaizer Chiefs up against Orbit College. As they look to involve themselves in the title race, Inacio Miguel has discussed the importance of the team's senior players leading from the front.
Be a massive role from us senior players to manage these young talents that are coming now. We have a lot of players with experience in these CAF competitions, and I think to mix these youngsters and the experience, it will bring the best of us in terms of team. Of course, that it will be a challenge to put them with the feet on the ground and understand that we didn't achieve nothing yet. We have a long road to go, but I think we can do it with this mix of youngsters and the experienced players.
It's match day 4 in the UEFA Champions League, and the pick of the games will see holders PSG up against Bayern Munich, while Liverpool host Real Madrid. Meanwhile, England's Lucy Bronze has made history by being named in the FIFA Pro Women's World 11 for a record 8th time. Barcelona forward Lamine Yamal has also entered the history books, becoming the youngest player ever to feature in the Men's World 11. Tolagele Mganga, Eyewitness News Sport.
EWN Traffic.
Well, at this stage, if you're leaving the Joburg CBD, we still have about a 20-minute delay. That's on the M2 westbound between the Crown Interchange and Main Reef Road. Also, bumper-to-bumper traffic. This is heading into Bedford View on the R24 westbound between Edenvale Road and the Kilulis Interchange. In the Mother City, we're dealing with that accident scene on Sable Service Road approaching the N7, causing heavy delays. There's also a felt fire on the N1 inbound. This is affecting visibility before Sable Road, so please approach with caution. And traffic lights still not working in Gales River. This is approaching Delhart Drive. If you come across any other traffic issues, please WhatsApp us on 072-702-1702.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
It all starts with FNB Private. Diversify your portfolio to grow your wealth. Gain global exposure through shares or unit trusts on the FNB app. Tap into international investments and tax-efficient offshore trusts to build your legacy. Unlock invaluable with FNB Private. Help changes everything. FNB, a division of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized FSB and credit provider. FNB International Trustees, FNB IT registration number 3080. Licensed by the Guernsey Financial Services Commission to conduct fiduciary business. T's and C's apply.
Enjoy the thrill of the Soccer Punches Challenge, Weekend Edition, an all-new platform from Hollywood Bets. You stand a chance to win a share of the 5 million rand jackpot when you bet 5 rand or more on selected EPL matches over the weekend and correctly predict 10 out of 10 winning margins. Or chase the share of the 50,000 rand leaderboard prize. Entry is free. Let this soccer season bring sizzling success. Bet now. T's and C's apply.
Hollywood Sportsbook is licensed by the Western Cape Gambling and Racing Board. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counselling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710.
At Auto & General, we understand your business is built on more than just vehicles. It's your stock, tools and equipment, and the premises where you work. Auto & General Business Insurance is designed for businesses like yours, protecting your assets against fire, theft, storms, and other unexpected events. To protect your livelihood, visit autogen.co.za and get an obligation-free business insurance quote. Auto & General, never not there. Auto & General is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's and C's online.
WhatsApp Mandy on 072 702 1702.
Hi, good afternoon. You know, it's so ironic. How can the man that has captured SAPS, how can SAPS be looking for him? You must get someone else to look for him. SAPS will never find him because they're in his pocket. That's why they can't find him.
My life is like James Bond movie. Mandy, what happened? What's going on with Radovan Krejcir? Is he still on 6 different trials at the same time? Anyway, have a great day. John from Randburg.
Hi, Mandy. I think Brown Makottzi is protecting himself because we don't trust the police. Honestly speaking, the police are the ones that are going to give out information of Brown Makottzi. He's protecting himself. He knows what is right because he doesn't trust this law. There's a lot of incidences that happened and nothing is happening, and we are finding that police are the ones that are giving suspects the victims information. Thank you, Kaiser from Pretoria.
John from Randburg, you've got a great memory. Who can forget when Radovan Krejcir was shot at by the polo with the barrels that came out of the number plate? He said, "My life is like a James Bond movie." This place is so funny. Look, we don't know what the story is around Brown Makottzi, and I'm not saying that this is a fake. I'm just saying that we don't know. Either the dominoes are falling and somebody is trying to silence him, or, and if we look at the experience that we've had in the past of people is staging hits, it could be that the police can't tell us because they can't find Brown Makottzi. But on the WhatsApp line, La says, "I don't know whether I'm the stupid one. Babita died. Now you want Brown to come to the same police station. That supposedly dealt with Senzomiwa's crime scene. So maybe he doesn't trust the police. And the irony, of course, is that he's accused of capturing the police. But maybe he does feel as though somebody was trying to kill him. He's not going to go back to the police station because he feels the police are trying to kill him. So either one of those scenarios could be true."
The Midday Report with Mandy Wiener is brought to you by Nedbank Commercial Banking. See money differently.
Well, to politics now, and at the weekend, well, yesterday and Sunday, we saw a retreat of the GNU political party leaders. They all got together. They reflected on the progress of the implementation of the priorities identified in the GNU statement of intent. They discussed all the important stuff, and then they come out with a statement telling us that they were all unified and things were looking good. So let's speak to one of the political party leaders that was there. Hanif Hendricks is the Al Jamaa leader who joins us now. Hanif, good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for your time today. How did the retreat go?
Look, the retreat was a 2 days of working. It was, getting to, was a team building exercise, but the team building not in the sense of enjoying and running with the leopards.
You weren't building rafts and having to do trail runs and things.
No, we were stuck in a room with all the security protocols in place. The president's, bodyguards, the DP's bodyguards, all watching us and making sure we work. And that's what we did. So we had a look at our successes over the 15 months, and we discussed, leaders, political leaders, conceded that they threw tantrums, and that it was a learning curve, but that going forward, we are going to stick to the statement of intent. We're going to stick to the midterm development budget, and we will identify priorities. Also, we had an opportunity we all have our different party political manifestos. We all have different constituencies. The president engaged with us and wanted to know, what are your issues? What can I do? What can the political leaders forum do for you? Because that is the top structure when it comes to politics in South Africa. So, Corne Mulder, for example, he had issues with rural doctors. That was discussed. I'm not allowed to go into the details. That has to come from the presidency.
Yeah.
Did
you? Sorry, carry on.
Gaten McKenzie had concerns about Joburg and the crime and the gangsterism. I had concerns about the Cape Flats because that's my hometown. That's where I come from, where we have killings all the time. We then engaged with all the leaders and the president. The other leaders, gave their ideas. And so we expect, number one, the issues that Corne Mulder may have raised, other honorable leaders have raised. I've raised about 4 issues. I was very happy, that it was listened to. And I expect action within 2-3 days of the issues that I've raised and also the other leaders. So it was a working meeting where we got together.
Did you discuss policy?
We discussed policy. Policy will be in terms of the statement of intent that we already agreed on. We agreed on a minimalist approach. We're not going to, go into policy, matters that will be wide, and we just felt let us agree on policy matters, which is largely in the statement of intent. For example, one of the matters was the national dialogue. Everyone agreed, no, we sticking to that, and the DA and maybe other parties said, look, we have issues with execution, but the policy stays the same, that there should be a national dialogue, and we need to ask South Africans, what do you want? And we address that, and we do it at ward level. So normally, these national dialogues are confined to prestige groups and intellectuals and academics. Here we're going down to ward levels, and all political parties have constituencies in wards, and they have issues. So while we agreed on the statement of intent, the implementation going down, we feel that as we mature, in our relationships, that will happen. And one of the things that we agreed on as political leaders of the GNU, that we're not going to criticize one another, which people may have a quarrel with it, because not that we're going to cover up for everyone, but we're not going to go out into the public and say, this minister said that, and I don't agree with this, or that leader said that. We're not going to do that. We're going to try. We have found one another. We're going to work together. We're going to support one another. Although I have major differences with the DA and the PA, I just have to find a way, to tolerate them, to accommodate them, and to smile.
Just keep smiling. Khanif Hendricks, Aljama leader, reflecting there on the retreat of the GNU leaders. They've all come out and they're all singing Kumbaya, and it's all unified and wonderful. Even if they have disagreements, they need to find a way to work together and just smile.
702, the Midday Report, Monday to Friday.
12 to 1 p.m.
Now, the IEC has been giving an update on preparedness for the local government elections. The local government elections due to take place towards the end of next year, early 2027. Mawetu Museri is the IEC Deputy Chief Electoral Officer and joins us now. Mawetu, good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for your time. What is your update on your state of readiness for the local government elections?
Good afternoon, Mandy, and to your listeners. We are progressing very well, and we are also encouraged by some responses from citizens, particularly on voter registration this particular year, where we've reached over 300,000 new registrations onto the voters' roll, which is one of the things that we were highlighting. And the amount of voter activation and civic education sessions that are happening throughout the country is encouraging. And so we were touching on all of these elements. But one of the key element of today was the settling of the composition of the commission with its constitution, where the president has announced the 3 new members of the commission, and we are welcoming that. It settles the governance of the commission, Mandy.
Well, that's good to hear. Any clarity on a potential date for the local government elections?
There is clarity of the period, Mandy, but the date itself is Minister Cox's domain and legal authority. But the period is certainly from the 2nd of November to the 27th of January. We, as the Commission, have to plan for the earliest date possible so that the minister has freedom to choose whatever date that they decide on. And as we speak, our plans will always talk to the first Wednesday in November, the 4th, as our planning date, but the minister will let the nation know what that date would be at a later stage. But consultations with us have taken place, and we are quite aware of the issues the minister is still dealing with on the date issue.
There were some big, hard lessons to learn from the elections last year. A lot of criticism of the IEC for the zip machines and also for the legislation 24A, which required people to vote at the voting station they were registered at. Is the IEC looking at both of those issues as you plan for the local government elections?
Certainly, we learn in each election, Mandy, and we have those lessons amongst the many. One other lesson we learned is the number of cases that went to court where parties were challenging the election timetable. And part of the things we were able to present today and announce is that we'll have consultations in all 9 provinces, where the best title we could give them is consultations, where we are inviting those who intend creating new political parties and registering them, those who will contest as independent candidates, and those unsure at this stage but want to be elected into office. We are saying come to these information sessions, know the criteria to contest, know how seat allocation is done, because it's another area that raised a number of issues in the last general election. On the VMD itself, it works particularly well for voter registration. What did not work well for us was the voters' roll application in the last election, and that has received our attention. And in the 57 by-elections we held this year, that particular application has held its ground, and we are encouraged by the work that our teams in ICT are putting to ensure that we have a better experience next election. For the coming local government election, there is no 24A provision, so all of us must vote where our names appear on the voters' roll. You can't vote elsewhere. You have to go to where you are registered. So we are encouraging you to update your addresses. Those who've changed places of residence, please update your addresses, but also get all the young ones onto the voters' roll.
Mawethu Moseri, IEC Deputy Chief Electoral Officer, thank you very much for your time, giving us an update there ahead of the local government elections next year. This November, join the hashtag Glass Recycling Challenge and help collect 280 tons of glass across Johannesburg, Pretoria and Cape Town in glass recycling banks. Catch 702 in conversation with the Glass Recycling Company this Thursday. Discover how recycling glass reduces waste, creates jobs and builds a circular economy. Don't miss 702 in conversation with the Glass Recycling Company this Thursday on 702 Drive with John Perlman.
Access to the internet is vital for any country to grow. That's why the recent 6.75 billion rand digital infrastructure deal that Standard Bank Corporate and Investment Banking facilitated between Telkom and an Actors-led consortium is so transformational for South Africa. It unlocks growth and provides internet access to underserved communities who will now have access to the internet for the very first time. Search CIB Stories of Impact to watch the full story.
Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
Who says everyday driving can't be très chic? Rent premium with Sani Sixt now. Own the stylish Citroen C3 later. Yes, that's 3 cars, 3 months, 3 chances to say ooh la la. Just book directly on sani.co.za. Call us or rent at any branch between 1 November and 31 January, and you're automatically entered into the draw. Bon voyage with Sani Sixt and win. T's and C's apply.
702.
The Midday Report with Mandy Wiener.
Let's walk the talk.
12:53 on the Midday Report. So we thought we'd end off the show today with some good news, because it's always good to have light and shade and to celebrate the wins. The Joburg social enterprise Jalanje has been awarded silver in the increasing local sourcing and creating shared value category at the Global Responsible Tourism Awards in London. Now, if you've ever been on a tour of Hillbrow or of Ponty with Jalanje, then you'll know about the great work that they're doing in that area, the transformative inner city tours and youth development work. And it was founded by, or co-founded by, Nicolaus Bauer, our colleague and friend who accepted the award in London, saying, "This is for Hillbrow, a community that proves responsible tourism can change lives." Well, let's speak to the other co-founder, Michael Luptak from Jalanje, who joins us now. Michael, good afternoon to you. Thanks very much for your time today, and congratulations.
Hi, Mandy. Thank you very much. It's lovely to talk to you, and good afternoon to all of your listeners.
What does a global award like this mean for you, considering the enormous amount of work that you've been doing over years and years in Hillbrow?
Yeah, I mean, look, our organization is 13 years old this year. In fact, I remember you may have come and visited us with David O'Sullivan many years
did,
ago.
and it was a remarkable experience, going up to your apartment at the top of Ponty and having a look at the vista from there, but also just the incredible work that you guys were doing.
Yeah, so we've got a youth center at the bottom of the building that really creates a safe space for young children in the area to explore their creativity in meaningful ways. And we're able to fund it through our social enterprise model by taking people on these highly intimate inner city experiences that really challenge people's perceptions about what Johannesburg inner city living is actually like. And yeah, I suppose over the last 13 years, we've managed to take Jalanje Ponty from an urban slum into a world famous tourist site. So, if we can do it there, we can do it anywhere, I suppose. But yeah, I suppose even after 13 years, it only still feels like the beginning.
So you are expanding into Cape Town now. What do you intend doing?
Well, exactly what we did in Joburg. We're expanding into Cape Town through a changemaker-led tourism model. Whereby instead of showing people, Cape Town's iconic sites, we're rather taking them into the hands of people who are shaping the city's future. And this way we are able to deliver an experience that's highly authentic, but also resonates with redistributing economic benefits into marginalized communities through youth in this massive tourism industry that we currently have in Cape Town. So we've only just started, and things are going very well at the moment. We've started a few pilots, and we've onboarded a few really interesting change makers. And the idea is to just give Cape Town a view through the young people that are shaping its future.
Dudulla employs and trains local residents as guides. You support 500 children. If people want to go on your tours or help you or support kids with you, where can they find you and how do they do that?
Well, really simple, actually. They can go onto our website, www.lalanje.org. On that website, we give you a lot of information about what we do in Johannesburg and our iconic Ponti story as well. There is also avenues for you to get involved and volunteer if you'd like to share some of your skills with some of the activities that we're doing in the building. We have a lot of our details there for bookings if you'd like to book an experience through Johannesburg. We have a lovely venue on the 51st floor of Ponti that you can hire for an event, which is really nice. And my contact details should be there as well in case you'd like to explore something we're doing in Cape Town as well.
Brilliant. Well, keep up the good work and so deserved this award, Michael. Thank you so much, Michael Lupta, co-founder of Dudulla. Go check it out, the work that they've been doing at Ponti in Hillbrow, the tours that they lead, the responsible tourism, really changing lives. The recipients of the Silver Award in the Increasing Local Sourcing and Creating Shared Value category at the Global Responsible Tourism Awards in London. Why wait? Sell your ride now and enjoy instant payment with a seamless experience. We Buy Cars isn't playing when it comes to buying cars. It's faster and easier than you think. Curious about what they'll offer? Visit webuycars.co.za today. Looking for your next ride? Explore a massive range of cars, bikes, boats, bakkies and more online or in-store. We Buy Cars, the best way.
The Outsurance pointsmen know that every car on the road carries a story. There's a car with a parent and a nervous but excited kid practicing her lines to put on a show-stopping performance at the school play. The Outsurance pointsmen know it's not just a car in traffic, it's a future superstar on the move. Every story's different and every story matters. That's why the Outsurance pointsmen have been doing what they do since 2005 in proud partnership with 702. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
Something big is happening when the family group chat explodes, like the Chamberlain Big Summer Splash promotion, on from 23 October to 9 November. 10% off finest 1903 paint mixing. That's incredible! Amazing deals on outdoor, braai, pool and camping gear. Even the dogs joining in with our social media puppy paw pick competition for a chance to win R1,000. And what's that? You can meet Bucky's Boot live in store at Centurion. Come make a splash with the whole family. Chamberlain, famous for hardware since 1903.
The Midday Report.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. South Africa is a movie, and today is evidence of that, so keep watching. The Midday Report with Mandy Wiener on 702 and Cape Talk is brought to you by Nedbank Commercial Banking. Think bigger, think Nedbank Commercial Banking. It's 1 o'clock.
This is EWN.
Police say Mogotsi refused to open a case following alleged attempted hit, and the court finds Operation Dudulla's actions are unlawful. Good afternoon, I'm Bali Dlamini. Controversial businessman Brown Mogotsi has refused to open a case after allegedly being shot in what he claims was an attempted assassination.